لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك. محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد نبينا بنور هدينا.
Today is Arafat Day, when pilgrims performing the Hajj converge on the plains of Arafat to offer prayers, supplication and seek for Allah's forgiveness. More than 2 million pilgrims performed the Arafat rite, among them over 50,000 Nigerian pilgrims. In the meantime, NAHCON has described as false media reports that 17,000 Nigerian pilgrims assigned to tour operators were not airlifted to Saudi Arabia for the Hajj. Addressing journalists in Makkah, NAHCON Commissioner of Operations Alhaji Abdullah Moduba Saleh and the representative of tour operators Abubakar Siddiqui said the report has no basis.
As far as this one is concerned, it is false. It is absolutely untrue. And I do not think it comes from the responsible media that we have always been having confidence in. Now, and pilgrims from Nigeria do not just come like this. They have two defined procedures of coming. It's either through the state pilgrim board or through the registered licensed tour operators. If anybody wants to disprove what I have said, that it is not true, the pilgrims board are headed by executive chairmen or executive secretaries. Let them be contacted, and I give them this challenge to bring out a state that has up to 10 pilgrims that have been left behind.
The licensed tour operators
you can have a projection. You can even say we expect 100
been given about 18,000 pilgrims that have been processed. The visa was smooth, the online registration was okay, and the accommodation in Saudi Arabia, everything was set, and they have traveled successfully to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
The chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, Barrister Abdullah Mukhtar, is full of praises for President Muhammadu Buhari for providing the commission the support to discharge its duties for the benefit of Nigerian pilgrims. The NAHCON chairman was speaking at the pre-Arafat stakeholders meeting in Makkah, calling on all stakeholders to work harmoniously for a successful Hajj exercise.
As leaders of the states and the various private tour operators, we have to enjoy our pilgrims, supervise, monitor, and coordinate them in such a manner that will make our country proud at the end of the exercise. My appeal to all of us is to cooperate and obey the rules and regulations set by the host government, that is the Saudi Arabian authority.
In their separate remarks, Nigerian Ambassador to Saudi Arabia, Ambassador Muhammad Isa Dudu, and the Consul General in Jeddah, Ambassador Muhammad Sani Yunusa, appealed to officials to ensure that pilgrims are coordinated during the stay at Mashair. During the meeting, NAHCON heads of various ad hoc committees gave updates on the arrangements made to accommodate pilgrims in Muna and Arafat. Saudi Ministry of Health has honored the Nigerian Federal Medical Mission in Saudi Arabia with an award. The award is in recognition of Nigerians' compliance with Saudi Arabia's medical guidelines, as well as providing effective services for Nigerian pilgrims. Head of Nigeria Medical Mission for the 2018 Hajj, Dr. Abdulkadir Bello Salanke, received the award on the sidelines of a lecture on public health. It was organized by the Saudi Arabian government for all heads of medical missions of countries participating in the Hajj. The event took place in Mecca on Thursday, the 16th of August 2018. Countries honored at the event include, among others, China, South Africa, Mali, as well as India. In an interview, Dr. Bello Salanke appreciated the Saudi government, saying that the award was a testimony of the excellent medical services provided by Nigeria to her pilgrims in Saudi Arabia.
The Saudi various departments, the statistics department, the public health department, the infectious disease unit, the malariology unit, all visited and inspected our facilities and certified. They were in fact highly impressed by the EMR, that is the electronic medical services that we started last year, and we have improved on it, and they were highly impressed.
In the meantime, the Director General of King Abdullah Medical City Specialist Hospital in Mecca, Dr. Talat, led a delegation of medical personnel from different countries on an inspection tour of medical facilities put in place by Saudi authorities. It is for the use of pilgrims during Mash'ir, known as the stay in Mina, Arafat and Muzdalifah. The facilities are strategically located at Arafat for easy access. They have cooling rooms, heat stroke units, laboratories and intensive care units. Others are cardiac care units, X-ray units, as well as dialysis units. In a related development, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON has perfected plans to provide primary health care services to Nigerian pilgrims while in Arafat and Muna. Head of NAHCON Hijra Clinic in Mecca, Dr. Usman Galadima disclosed this in Mecca.
What we do as the National Medical Team, we dissolve into the respective states. We send members with drugs to different state camps, to provide medical needs for the pilgrims. And also the ambulances are also around. We try to use our ambulances and those of other states and so on.
Dr. Galadima added that steps have also been taken to provide pilgrims healthcare tips in the course of the Hajj exercise. Nigerian Hajj officials have been urged to work closely with their Saudi counterparts, known as Mu'assasa, to ensure the smooth transportation of pilgrims from Mecca to Mushair and back to Mecca after the performance of the Hajj rite. Head of Turadidiyya Committee, Dr. Ali Tanko stated this while inspecting Nigerian tents in Muna and Arafat in the company of officials of state pilgrims boards and that of Mu'assasa.
There is need for cooperation of all the parties in order to achieve the objective of having the movement smooth and fast, inshallah.
Meanwhile, officials of the Mu'assasa Transport Unit have made a presentation to Nigerian delegates on how to make good use of all the roads linking to Nigerian tents in Muna and Arafat. The governors of Bauchi and Ogun states have been speaking on the need for Nigerian pilgrims to be good ambassadors of their states and the country at large. They gave the advice while bidding farewell to their pilgrims before departing for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the 2018 Hajj.
Ina kira gare ku da ku kasance wakilai na gari na jihar Bauchi da kuma Najeriya gaba ɗaya. ina addu'ar Allah subhanahu wata'ala ya sa a gabatar da Hajj mabrur a kuma dawo gida lafiya.
Ogun State has always been known, whenever we go there, we come back with accolades because we conduct ourselves in a way that is expected of somebody that is a pious Muslim. And I'm sure all of us, we will not let ourselves down. We are going to go there and we are going to pray, and God will answer our prayers.
Both governors further announced to the delight of their pilgrims that all necessary arrangements have been put in place for their accommodation and feeding while in Mecca. Meanwhile, some pilgrims from Bauchi and Plateau states that made up the last batch to be airlifted to the Holy Land have decried the delays experienced in this year's airlift operations. Speaking shortly before leaving, the pilgrims said the challenges were avoidable and called for proper planning and better organization in the future.
Staying on the plains of Arafah is one of the 4 rites of the Hajj and is the most important one. This comes up every year on the 9th of Zulhijjah, which is the 12th month of the Islamic calendar. It is the period when activities marking the Hajj get to a high point. On this day, all pilgrims are expected to converge on the plains of Arafah from sunrise to sunset, observing prayers and making supplications. There are many stories associated with the Arafah day.
When the Archangel Gabriel was leading Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to show him places of worship in the rites of Hajj, when they reached Arafat, when he started explaining to him, this is place, he said, Araftu, I knew this place. So that is the basis of the name Arafat.
When you talk of Hajj, you are talking about Arafah itself, which means Hajj itself is Arafah and Arafah is Hajj.
Arafat from the word Arafah, that is the root word in Arabic, Arafah, he knows or he knew. He knew. So what has he known? That is the knowledge of Allah, the knowledge of Almighty Allah. So in totality, the place of Arafat was created by Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, because he was the first prophet to arrange for all these pillars of Hajj and to be rearranged by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So the history of the place is just like Mina, the whole district of Mina. It has been secured and been prepared for the rituals of Hajj. No any ibadat that is to be performed there except the rites of Hajj.
Located on the outskirts of Mecca, Mount Arafah is about 70 meters in height, which is equivalent to 230 feet, and is also known as the Mount of Mercy or Jabal Rahman. The area surrounding the place is called the Plain of Arafah. Once a pilgrim is within the plain, he is at the Arafah.
The Prophet ﷺ stationed his camel beside that Jabal al-Rahma and said, وَقَفْتُهَا هُنَا وَالْعَرَفَةُ كُلُّهَا مَوْقِفٌ. I personally, I stand here, but the whole of the territory of Arafat is a standing place. This shows that there is no any significance whatsoever attached to climbing Jabal al-Rahma. People used to climb Jabal al-Rahma, but it is not meant for climbing. The only thing a pilgrim need is to stay within the territory of Arafah.
The crowd is not at the time Rasulullah ﷺ performed his Hajj. And luckily enough for us, he said, وَقَفْتُ هَهُنَا وَالْأَرَفَةُ كُلُّهَا مَوْقِفٌ. I stood here and I have legalized for you all the demarcated area of Arafah to be your Arafah. Now this simple statement has made it flexible for everybody to station himself where he is and pray.
In marking the Arafah day, pilgrims combine Zuhur and Asr prayers and shorten them to 2 rak'ah each. The Imam reads a sermon thereafter, just as the Prophet did.
The Imam, after the prayer, is supposed to give a sermon. And the sermon will have a kind of overview of life, contemporary life, and how to move to the second life. Now, after the sermon of the Imam, now the standing begins.
That Arafah is called Wukuf Arafah, and Wukuf means standing. And it gets the name from what is supposed to be on that day. So one is expected to stand in Arafah as much as he could. I am not saying people should continue to be standing until they fall down and they are taken to hospitals. You stand as much as you can withstand with your energy and ability. Where you don't have the ability, you sit down and you continue with your azkar. Where you are feeling sleepy, you sleep, you are still in Arafah. If you woke up again, you continue standing, sitting, lying. Allah accepts zikr in all aspects of your condition. الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار. So zikr is recognized standing, is recognized sitting, is also recognized lying down. And what you are doing in Arafah is more of zikr.
Soon after the sermon, pilgrims must engage themselves in supplications till sunset.
If I say there is no deity worthy of being worshipped except Allah, this is invocation. It's not supplication. I'm not supplicating. I'm not asking, but I'm praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And my problem is I want Allah to intervene in the problems of my country, Nigeria. I want him to intervene in my family problems. I want him to take charge in my personal health, in my personal economy, and everything. But I'm here shouting La ilaha illallah. There is no problem about that because there is a hadith which is Qudusi directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when my servant becomes so concerned with my praising by saying La ilaha illallah, and that took him away from mentioning his problems to me, I will solve all his problems.
Preferably, the supplications should be said in a standing position.
Because the Prophet, as it has been reported, that he made prayer while standing, raising up his hands. So equally, it is mustahab, that is, it is recommended that you stand and you raise up your hands like this. But if you do it sitting, it is accepted from you, especially those who may not probably do it standing. So therefore, you can do it while sitting, you can do it while standing. But to do it while standing is far better because that it has been done by the Prophet and his companions.
It is more appropriate if the pilgrim is standing. But he is considered to be standing even if he is seated or laying down. It is permissible for him to have a break between his supplications and invocations. There could be a break where he eats, take bath, sleep, discuss issues with his friends.
Once pilgrims witness portion of the day of the Arafah, they can now be counted among those who observed Arafah rites.
Is from the morning hours till the appearance of the dawn, that is Fajr, and it commences fully after performance of Zuhur and Asr, where you continue to stand until the sunset. You must witness part of the day and part of the night. So if in case one is lucky to meet part of the night and part of the day, then he has succeeded in getting Arafah. But if one comes after the dawn of that day, then automatically he has no Hajj. He has missed the Hajj.
Any portion, at least 5 minutes if you stay, is allowed for you. Your Hajj is accepted. But if you refuse, you move to Muzdalifah before the sunset, and it happens that you have no chance to come back to Arafat up to the time of the dawn, then your Hajj is not correct. It is not accepted at all. And this is the consensus of the Muslim jurists. No any jurist among the companions or the Tabi'un or the Tabi'un or up to our time that says your Hajj is accepted. No.
After performing the shortened and combined Zuhur and Asr prayers, pilgrims are not allowed to perform Maghrib and Isha at the Arafah.
Immediately after sunset, we are in the time of Maghrib. But that day is not permissible for a Muslim to pray Maghrib at time, at the beginning of the time. The issue is we have combined Zuhur and Asr at the time of Zuhur, which is the first time. Now we are delaying Maghrib to the time of Isha, and we are not going to pray Maghrib and Isha in the territory of Arafat. We are moving because it is the Sunnah. That was what the Prophet ﷺ did. He moved to Muzdalifah to pray Maghrib and Isha.
Muslims around the world who are not participating in the pilgrimage often spend this day in fasting and devotions. Standing at the Arafah is a fundamental requirement of Hajj. Failure to make it renders the Hajj invalid.
Well, Arafat is the main Hajj. It is that aspect of Hajj that if you fail to have it, there is no Hajj for you. It is the only thing that you can easily call it Hajj, because according to the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Al-Hajju Arafah. Hajj is but Arafat. So if there is no Arafat, there is no Hajj.
It is that particular pillar that is standing on Arafat that if a pilgrim miss, he has missed his rights of Hajj. And it will not be corrected unless next year or any year that he has chance to come and correct it. So therefore, the place of that particular pillar is the most important and the most serious one.
It is believed that proper observance of the rites of Arafah by pilgrims earns them forgiveness from God for sins committed.
That day is a great day. It's so great that Allah used to inform the angels, bear witness, I have forgiven all those who are in the Arafah. In fact, it's a mistake for you to be in Arafah to think you are not forgiven. You should assume that you have been forgiven. And because of the importance of the day of Arafah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives those who are there, and the remaining Muslims too should enjoy that day. And that's why they are commanded to fast on the day of Arafah if you are not in Arafah, so that the sin of last year have been forgiven for you and the sin of next year has been forgiven for you, and that hadith is sound.
In our feedback this week, we begin with the comment of Hamza Sa'idu from Gombe State. He appreciates NAHCON over its arrangements for the Hajj.
Wannan tsarin da suka dauko tsari ne mai kyau kuma mun ji dadi. Allah ya saka musu da alkhairi. Gaskiya tsakani da Allah ba abun da zamu ce. Daga Madina zuwa nan da duk wani dawainiya ana mana. To babu abun da zamu ce sai dai mu gode musu.
Abdul Salam Ibrahim from Kaduna State thanks the Ulama team for their guidance.
Kamar lokacin da za a ibadan nan suna tare da mu za su ninka gaya mana abin da bamu gane ba. To kaga ta nan ma wani babban nasara ne.
والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك